Welcome back, everybody. Joining me today on the block is JoJo. How are you doing today, JoJo?
I'm doing great.
Great.
How are you doing?
I mean, to be honest, that was
Yeah.
a really good episode. Like, I was there a lot. They got a lot in that episode, and
Okay, fair.
I was surprised that they did a lot. And it was the first episode that I was anticipating in a long time. Like Big Brother in the last few years has just kind of become something that I just watch because I'm a super fan, and like I don't get as excited anymore for things to happen. But this episode, I was like anticipating, like, ooh, like I knew who was most likely going home at the beginning half. I knew that was pretty much 100%, but I was like kind of didn't know what was going to happen if this next person that was going to win the head of household. So I was nervous and anticipating, and like I haven't been in feeling like that in years, I don't think. So I think that means that I'm enjoying the season.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite season since I'd say season 3. Favorite season since
Of Canada.
3. Of Canada.
Season 5 was pretty good though.
Season 5 was great, but I loved season 3.
Really?
And I would actually put this season above season 5 right now.
Really? I guess so, but I mean, go ahead.
Maybe not moving forward. I don't know how I'm going to feel moving forward. I need to know. Like, I'm dying to know who won head of household. I need to know how this week's shaken up. But double evictions always get me really excited. Palms dripping, nervous. I get really anxious for everyone, and I didn't have that this episode. It was a good episode, but I did not have like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? It was like, okay, let's roll the dice. Come on now.
Well, I think it's because right in the beginning, you could kind of tell where it was going. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a competition that like one of your favorites wasn't doing well from the beginning. You know what I mean? So you were probably just like already checked out and like didn't really care about who the outcome was going to be. But if this is your first time joining us on the block, well then I'm so happy that you are here. Make sure you do us a favor and subscribe, if I can talk, to Reality Pop. It's going to be your new hub for all things reality TV. And so you probably could have guessed it. We are talking today about Big Brother Canada Season 9. This is episode 17. And, the announcer got paid some money this week because, like, he had a really long lead up into the episode. And he's like, they don't know it yet, but soon they'll be seeing double. And then it's the double eviction. Arissa comes in. So what did you think about Arissa's outfit? Just to get it out there. What did you think?
Those shoes were incredible. I was obsessed with the shoes. I like the cut of the skirt. I like the top. 9 out of 10.
9. Okay, I wasn't that big of a fan of it. Maybe because the pink wasn't pink enough for me. It wasn't either short enough or long. Like there's something about the length to me. It just didn't. It wasn't my favorite length. I thought it was nice. I'd still probably give it maybe a 7.5. The whole ensemble. I mean, she always looks gorgeous. But like, if we're gonna be uber critical here on the outfit, I'd give it a 7.5. I like the yellow around the ankle, like on calf of the shoe of the sandal. I thought that was pretty fire, but I didn't think that the dress popped enough for me, and it was just because I like bold things, bold colors, and it was just a little bit subdued for me.
I thought it was very Easter.
Pastel. Oh, maybe that's where that was coming from. Maybe
yellow, maybe, but maybe they were just like, here, throw this. Maybe she like spilled her coffee beforehand. Was like, I need something fast, quick.
Maybe, or maybe not. So I thought she looked good, but I've seen her wear outfits and I'm like, bam, wow, that was amazing. So 7.5 for me, and you guys said 9 from you, so I guess that's about an 8.3 for the outfit. About that.
3.
So we get right back to where we left off on Monday with Vic being the replacement nominee by the hands of Beth. And we did, I don't know, you probably heard on the feeds, but she was sort of tipped off by production. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was very funny that to retaliate, production decides to troll them by putting them all as a half, all everybody as a half knot, and then leaving a bunch of bananas to like send a message.
Yeah,
I was
they're
like,
furious.
they're mob.
Yeah, they're getting punished for talking production. I wish that I actually wish they weren't allowed. Like, I wish that they were allowed to talk production. Why not? What's the big deal? You could lie
I
about
mean,
production, though, quite a bit.
I think part of it though is not making production part of strategy, right?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of a rule. Like you can't like fake that there's some sort of power or whatnot. Like you may be able to lie about what it does, but I don't think you can like make up some sort of production type thing. And so I think that's probably one reason. And then I think they just don't want to get in trouble by Canada. Like they don't want us coming for them, being like, "Get your hands out of here! You're meddling." I think they're
Goddamn
just,
meddlers.
yeah. But like, I think it was a bad medal because like, even though she did a pretty good reaction when she got up on the block,
Yeah.
I would have loved to see a complete blindside. Like, wouldn't that just be just wow?
I still think she was blindsided. I don't think she actually thought it was going to happen. I know that
Well,
she says she thought it was
the
going to happen,
follow
but
through maybe, but if she's saying that she was tipped off, I believe that she could have had an inkling if production might have been like, so like, is it possible that like your allies would turn against you? And she'd be like, no. Why are they
I hope
asking me
not.
that? Right. And then apparently that morning too, she went and made a big breakfast for everybody. And she's just been super like helpful and kind. And so she was probably shocked that it actually happened. But I do think she was tipped off.
Yeah. Most likely, yes.
And she even saying to Beth being like, she's like, girl. Beth is on your team. So what do you think about how Beth has been reacting to having the head of household, the power, making this move? What do you think?
I think I said it last week. I thought Victoria was in trouble with Beth as head of household. I think it was way better for Beth's game for Victoria to go this week. I don't think it was good for Ty. I don't think it was good for Jed. And I don't think it was good for Kiefer. After the double eviction, it's a different story. But in the moment, I thought this is not good for them.
I didn't think so either, because I felt that, you know, the pendulum usually swings the other way when it's a divided house like this. And because I didn't think that it was a great move for Ty and Jed to really give up. They're like, you know, they should have been fighting to keep Victoria. It would have been better for their game. But no matter what, they are flip-flopping back and forth, the bunch of them. And so it wouldn't even be effective, because if you flip once and like are waving back and forth, like you've lost Victoria. Right.
Yeah,
so even
100%.
if you had saved her, like it wouldn't have been the same as if you were always like, I'm not letting this happen. 100% taking you down. Like the back and forth makes them lose so much credibility as an ally. So it was really, really emotional seeing her up there, because I guess we all would love to be playing this game. And so we know how much she loved being there. And as much as she has been making moves that I don't think were great for her game or other people's games, like she was doing what she was hoping that Canada was going to enjoy watching, and that fans would be having fun experiencing. And she was really living her best life in there. And so it really I felt bad to me that Beth was like taking this away from her. You know what I mean? I didn't like it.
I mean, yes, devastated that Victoria was taken out in a backdoor in this way, but honestly, good for Beth.
Good for Beth. No, I'm not saying it's not a bad move, a good move for her. Yeah. Like definitely it's the move that she needed to do to put herself on the map. Like she can't have HOH. She may never get HOH again. Like she needs to at least have one move that she can hang her hat on and be like, I did that.
Yeah.
And
that was big. Because this season has Victoria, not just only for the viewers, but for the house guests in general. She's been a staple every other week in that house. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that was a big deal for her to be taken out. People might respect it at the end if Beth somehow makes it there. But it's hard to see anybody get done dirty. I don't love, like, backdoors usually make me sad in general, so
Yeah.
it's not a good
We
feeling.
know they want to be there and they didn't even get a chance to fight for themselves.
Yeah,
That's what I find to be the most sad.
yeah.
Okay. Will there be a battle back at all during this pandemic? I don't think
Natalie?
so.
No.
But hi, Natalie. The reason why I don't think so is the whole quarantine and stuff like that. Have you counted out how many, like, if the days all match up?
Yeah, the days are different this year.
I know it's only 70.
Yeah. So
It's so funny. Sorry, go ahead.
I assume no battle back.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a battle back coming because if there was, wouldn't they all have to quarantine separately?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I would love for there to be one because, you know, as this whole episode, two people that were really fighting are going to be in the jury right now. So those are the people that I would want to see try to battle back into the house, you know?
And I was really hoping that this would be the year that the jury stayed in the house. I think that would have been really different and exciting. And it's like, how to...
I don't think that they'll ever do that.
Oh, it would be so good. Not if you're not if you're a player, but if you're a viewer, yes. I'm like, do I want to see the first 5 jury members in the house still? Yeah, I do. I mean, I guess they're still playing, so like that's what makes it difficult.
I just don't know if that would work really late in the late game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe in the beginning, and then there'd be a battle back, and then people leave. But like, I don't know. I just don't know. I think eventually people have to go.
Yeah, the mechanics can make it too complicated because people that are voted out would still be playing the game as a jury member. So like it would be shitty.
And then they would be kind of influencing things potentially. I think that they would have too much of a hand in what went on, and I don't think that it would end up being fair to the people that actually were still in the game. It's okay. We talk these things out. You know, we just have to prove to you that was a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
Awful.
Don't ever suggest that. No, just kidding. Oh. So I haven't really been that big of a fan of Tara, but this episode when she's talking with Tina about how she would love to be the head of household at the end of the week so that on Monday, the anniversary of her brother who passed away 14 years ago, she would be head of household and she'd be able to have like some tributes and whatever from her family. So I thought that was a really humanizing moment with Tara. And it made me be like, okay, I don't dislike you that much in that moment. I was like, you do have a good heart.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Tara hate, and I don't hate her. I think she's just like agitated and annoyed and doesn't have the most patience.
She said a few microaggressions that were pretty inappropriate. Absolutely. And I do think that there are valid reasons for people to not enjoy hearing her on the feeds. But yeah, I think it is a pressure cooker as well. But sorry to cut you off.
It's okay. Like I know of them. I haven't seen them firsthand, but hearing of them generally, you're like, yeah, okay. Shitty person, not my favorite person, but I think Tara gets a lot of hate in general. And I don't know. I think she's just kind of basic. I thought I saw more of her at the beginning of the game being like, yeah, okay, Tara's one to watch. And then it's completely faded. And now I'm thinking like, Tarantino, what are you guys doing? Win something. Do something.
I mean, they need to win something for sure. I mean, we don't know what the next head of household is going to be. I kind of need... Natalie, do we have a head of household yet? Yeah. Do we know who it is yet? Have they done... They must have done it like right after. So I don't know if the feeds are back yet. But please let us know when the feeds come back, because we will want to know, at least at the end of the episode or of our recap, of who is the head of household. That would be ideal. Okay, before we kind of... Oh, no, we'll talk about it after. Okay. We'll talk about it after. So basically, I was really, really surprised that they did show some of the house meeting.
Are you surprised?
With the amount of time that they had, because they're showing all this other stuff or whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's like halfway through the night. You haven't even started the double eviction yet. And you hadn't even, it was like 20 after when they started the the house meeting. So I was just like, are they just not going to show any of it? So I was impressed by how much they got packed in there. Did you think it was an accurate portrayal of the house meeting?
Yes, I just wanted more of all of the boys in unison going, like the spectators that they are. I thought it was a pretty good representation of the meeting lasted like 37 minutes.
Yeah, it was long.
And
it was really long.
They could have done an entire episode of just a meeting.
Absolutely, they could have.
It was gold. And I was worried too. I'm thinking like there's not enough time. But looking back at the entire episode, the double eviction happened so fast.
Yes, it did. I just was like surprised that they were going to do like so much. They still had to have an eviction. They still had to have another head of house. They still had to have a veto. And like they hadn't even started the house meeting yet. I knew the house meeting was 40 minutes. I'm like, okay, they're going to chop that down to 5 or maybe 10. But like it just was a lot that went on this week. They did a pretty decent job of showing it, but like there was just so much more that they could have shown. This should have been maybe an hour-and-a-half episode because there was a lot that wasn't shown, you know?
I wish that they did a veto earlier last night and given us more of the meeting today.
Like the beginning of the meeting or all like the preamble before the meeting and then just start the episode with the meeting. Woo!
Just like give us that because it was beautiful to watch and it got really exciting in the house for a while because they were truly back and forth. Mm-hmm. Beth could not make up her mind. I think deep down she really wanted Victoria out for the resume building move, but they were all so back and forth, and it was not all of them obviously, but the boys, Beth, Kiefer.
Well, but the reason why, though, they were going back and forth is because it's better for Beth one way and it's better for Ty and Jed the other way. And so, you know, Beth or Jed and Ty will get convinced like, okay, yeah, you know, she's a big player. Like, we need to get her out now. But then they'll be like, no, she's not coming after me, though. So it's because it wasn't a mutually beneficial move for all 3 of them or all 4 of them even. That's why they had to keep on going back and forth because it's be like, oh, no, this isn't good for my game. We have to keep her. Like, and Beth is like, no, that's not good for my game. We have to get her out. Like, and so that's why it kept on like waffling back and forth. So I wonder if they pegged the fact that they don't have the same agenda right now. So Ty, Jed, and Beth, they're not really all on the same page.
Well, Jed told Beth yesterday, I think last night or this morning, I don't remember. He said, like, Beth, I've got you to the end. Like, I really, truly think now that Beth is Jed's final 2, which I think is dirty. I don't love it.
Don't know if that's would be true. I mean, I know that he said that.
If he's doing what he's doing to her and she's taking what she's taking from him, I absolutely think he's being serious with her.
But what do you mean taking what she's taking? Oh, just kidding.
Deep dives on those Twitter.
But the thing is, though, is that if it ever gets back out that she kind of like wanted Rohan to stay to go after the boys, like, not that he won't still be interested in her. I do think that he wants to date her outside of the house, but she is clearly at this point, I would say, acting for her best good, and she doesn't mind if those boys aren't there. And so if he starts to feel that, he might be like, well, you know, you made that big move at Victoria. I might have to stick with my boy Ty here.
Unless he thinks he would lose to Ty.
I don't think he'd lose to Ty. He'd lose to Beth more than Ty, I think.
You think? I don't know.
Ty's likable, but this is like he's not been like a comp beast or a strategic, you know, mastermind. Like he's just likable. Jed, I think, comes off as more of like a threat, and people just seem to believe that Jed is, you know, the force in that trio. And no, so now that Beth made that big move, I think that she looks like she's like kind of the kingpin of the trio, I would say. But I could be wrong, and things could change. There's still 5 weeks left or whatever.
Yeah, Ty got his first win tonight.
Yes, he did, but still in the house meeting though. So okay, some things that came out though when she was crying pretty hard. Did you notice when Beth was just trying to console her,
Rubbing her
but
down.
but it didn't look like it was comfortable. She was just like,
God, what do I do here?
Poor Victoria. And I felt really bad for Victoria because she was kind of lying about some things, and I felt like Tara was holding herself pretty well until she decided to stand up and throw down her sunglasses, and I knew that she was coming for business.
Yes.
And I didn't feel as though the other side looked as shady as Ty and Jed thought and Beth thought they did. I was like, to me, Victoria looked like she must have been lying so much for her to be like, Rohan, you can't be serious. Like the amount that she was going so over the top,
Yeah.
I thought was screaming dramatics for emphasis as opposed to having true facts.
Yeah, I think some of it was definitely put on. I think she wanted to cause a stir, but I think she could have gone in a little harder on each of Brayden, Rohan, and Tara. She could have left Tina out of it, but if she had made 3 enemies from that house meeting, I think that could have helped her a little bit more.
But she's still trying to get people to vote for her. So she was trying to be picking and choosing. I didn't think that she wanted to have half the house definitely be voting her out. And there's no chance to salvage anything. And then have to be still just worried about the trio.
But I mean, even after the house meeting, Ro was on her ass, telling her that he wanted to work with her. Half the things he said wasn't true. She could have fed that bullshit to any of the 3 of them after the meeting, but I think it would have been smarter for her to actually out things that would have upset them enough to actually get mad at her.
Well, the oddballs thing, this was, I think, the best part of her pitch is when she allowed Tara to out the oddballs. Yeah. And because I think that validated Vic's point being I was in a 7-person alliance that didn't include you. You guys were all of our targets, and I was the ghost HOH, and I didn't put you guys up. I went against my alliance. So I thought that was really, I wish that she said it in a way that they could hear that. But I think that the amount of passion she was putting into staying, I think that also scared them as how hard she could be playing. And she's already done so many things that were unpredictable, and it didn't make them feel safe and easy. So she was just in a really tough position. But I thought the oddball thing was really good for her to win some favor with the trio.
How funny is it that people half the house is playing the middle, and you told me to play the middle, you told me to play like this. It's come on, folks, you're just playing everybody. There's no playing. I don't really truly think there's playing a middle. I think it's trying to play everybody in some way, shape, or form. So that excuse to me is always a bit laughable. But you told me to play the middle. It's well, you're not what has Tina done for the Sunsetters lately? Nothing.
Tina's not at the Sunsetters at all.
The Sunsetter, but they include her every once in a while. I'm why are you?
Well, they don't want to. I don't think they want to alienate her. I think they want to hope that they have her as an olive branch. You know what I mean? Or it's a little hey, I got a little escape over here with Tina, but Tina is not even part of that at all.
No.
And what I was saying too about playing the middle is you also still have to have a side that you're a little bit more loyal to. You can't just keep on going back and forth, because eventually you're you got to choose. You got to pick a side or you're done.
Yeah.
That's it. Because nobody wants flip-floppers. You want someone that you can count on. You want someone that you can know their vote. And this is what I was saying to Jonathan yesterday, is that I understand why they would want to get Victoria out, because if they want, you don't want to play with wild cards. It's it's interesting to watch, but it's not fun in the house to play with somebody that's just all over the place and you can't predict their movement. I gave the example
them for it.
What do you mean?
I think and you respect them for it. You're okay, that's a great gamer. I generally
right.
They think Victoria is playing an awesome game. Let's take her out. As a viewer, we don't want that, but it's okay, we're not in there trying to fight for the money. I understand why people would want to take her out.
But I would want to take her out because she's too damn messy, and she will just make the move for the flash and the glory. Like she felt as though she's playing the best game in the house, but I thought it was just so messy and not a winning game. And like, I'm happy that I don't have to eat my words, because I was like, there's no way that she's going to be able to win this game, because she is not being a good ally, and she's being too unpredictable that people would be scared to have her in there, because like, oh, we don't know what she's going to do. She might put me up. So let's get her out. One thing though that was funny though that she said about the all ball, she's like, that's just like a stupid name. I would never name anything oddball. This is stupid. It's like her total name idea. Like, she named all the alliances.
Definitely. I love it. It's perfect.
Oh my god, I got the best name for us. It's the Oddball. It's the worst name I've ever heard. I wish they had like that. They did that side by side.
It's
like
split, yes.
Yeah, like naming it and then like shutting it after.
Down.
So, I mean, I felt bad for Tara, because like, I know that she doesn't want to be fighting like that on TV and whatnot. But I thought that she did a pretty decent job of holding her own, because it is really frustrating. I must have been, for her to be called a liar and like that she's snaking Victoria when she really didn't. She really didn't do anything to Victoria. The HOH asked her a question, she answered it, and Vic did a majority of the things that were spoken about, and Vic was just like claiming that she didn't. So it would be very frustrating to have to try to be like, I'm telling the truth, guys, she's lying. And keep your temper down. I probably would have gone off.
I kind of wish Tara was a little more honest during the meeting and been like, yeah, I have said your name, boys, and I do this. These are the reasons why. And because I think they kind of caught that.
But then she was on the block.
Yes, but I mean, she could have done it in a way that it was like smart. I don't know. I think she needed to own up.
She could have just been like super facetious, maybe, and been like, okay, we were having conversations about who we're going to throw up, and Victoria seemed to want to go after you guys, so of course I'm going to say what she said. Like, right. I would have maybe gone that route and be like, this is who she wants. I'm going to go along with her plan, and just do the exact, and just mirror what Victoria was doing. That might have been a way to invalidate Victoria's pitch. Because that could have been helpful, maybe.
I mean, Tara's next pitch didn't really include the boys in a positive way either. Like,
which one?
Like, it wasn't shown. It was.
Oh, it wasn't shown. Okay. Kids. Yeah.
But like Victoria said, like Final Four, she was giving them like numbers. She was giving them placements. Like, if we can get to this part, Tara was like, "I'm not giving you that," and that kind of shocked me. I was like, "Okay, well, at least she's holding her own and being honest about." No, I'm not going to be giving you a Final Four offer, plea, pitch for your vote this week. I'm like, that's pretty bold.
This is going to, I think, unless she wins power, it's going to bite her in the butt, because this is what happened to LaToya. LaToya wasn't willing to give her loyalty or her word to anybody, and so, or anybody that wasn't part of her already alliance, that people are just like, well, if she's not working with us, she's working against us. And so the boys, if I were the boys, I'd been like, okay, Tara might have to go, because she doesn't want me to be here. But I think the fact that she's such a non-threat, that they probably didn't care. So the alliance are. Wait, can you read it out loud? I'm not wearing glasses today.
Yeah, I have to get in real close. Hi, Evine.
Hi, Evine.
Are not real secrets with moles that gather info and report back. It is hard to describe the overall gameplay this season. Ooh.
That's totally true, Bibine. We cannot really tell. There isn't really any gameplay, because Victoria loved, like, very entertaining, flashy player. She was making moves that were big. She knew that she was going to get LaToya going out. Like, she was a big person to get out, and she's going to be like, she's winning these competitions, super flash. But it didn't seem like anybody was plotting what they wanted to do down the road. This was the first week where people seemed to be looking ahead of like what was just happening right in front of them with like the Final Four deals and stuff like that. So I think that that's why no real gameplay has been happening, is because people have just been kind of living in the moment and not thinking ahead of setting themselves up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think some people were setting themselves up a little more nicely. I mean, Bray is pretty much set for a while. He's probably
Is
going to
he
be put on
though?
the. I think he's going to be put on the block, but I don't necessarily know if he's going to be evicted right away. It's going to definitely depend on obviously which side wins this upcoming head of household. Because right now it's looking like 4-3, but Kiefer can also run over to Tarantina and they can have a 3. So there's definitely some fluctuating in there. And I don't know if they want Jed and Ty to make it far together. And I think
Well,
like even Beth knows that. Kiefer does know that. He might not be want to
they
be the one to
did
do
went
it.
down though. Like most recently, they locked in a Final Four with the
Yeah.
old Sunsetters. So I do think that Kiefer is going to honor that. He does have a sense of loyalty. I think that he probably also thinks that he could beat anybody. Like he has enough of an ego to think that. And so he might just want to be able to get further along and then just win out. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't think he's going to turn on them. But he might vote one of them out, obviously. But like, I don't think he's going to turn on them.
I was thinking of it more in that sense that if Tina, Tara, Bray win head of household this week, Kiefer can flip and jump to them and be like, "All right, what do you want to do? What are we doing?"
Yeah, well, I mean, that you can't really help that. Like, it's not gonna be him.
Yeah,
right.
It's not gonna be. Well, maybe with Bray. Bray's pissed about
Braden maybe
being put up only once, I guess, with Kiefer.
What do you think, though? I'm still on this house meeting about the fact that part of what Tara was confronting Beth about was the fact that Victoria told her that Beth said that she didn't deserve to be there. It seems now that Beth did not say that, and that Victoria actually is one that believed that. And then to deflect that Victoria said that, she was like, well, you don't deserve to be here. And so Tara's reasoning for this is what she said was that she didn't want to be first person in jury because she'd be there not playing to win the money for 1 month without seeing her family. She had a different story, her being in the game, being in there ready to win, or going out pre-jury. But being first, it's like you're just spending half the game away from your family and you still have no shot at winning. So I understand that rationale as a mother. Like, I'm not a mother, but like I get that would be a really hard for you, knowing that like, hey, I'm not even able to win this money anymore and I'm away from my kids. So what do you think about kind of Victoria kind of gaslighting her a little bit?
You signed up for this.
It's true.
You signed up for this. I mean, I thought that was a beautiful moment that I will think of forever and always. Well, maybe not forever and always, but I thought it was a beautiful moment to really hammer home the point that this is 90 days. It's a commitment. If you're the first person kicked out, if you're the first person in jury, I think you need to look at it as an experience all around and kind of respect that. If she had the option, if Tara had the inkling that she wasn't going to make it much farther, maybe she would have been like thrown in the towel earlier and said like, screw this. I don't want to be around these people. I don't want to do jury. I'm over the game. I'm over this experience. But I don't like hearing that people don't want to be there because they want to be home with their boyfriends or girlfriends or their
I don't
kids.
think of it's the same way as that, though. I think that what she wasn't saying that she didn't want to be there. She said she didn't want to be the first juror because that's just a long time away from her family without like being in the game anymore with the chance to win, which is why she came there. So like, I wouldn't say it. Obviously you never want to say to anybody that like you like, you know, I was playing an online reality game and I had a friend of mine's mom passed away. And so I wasn't as active at some point. And I did end up making it to the final 2. And I was making my speech and I was thinking like, oh, should I say that like, you know, I had conflicting feelings of whether or not I wanted to stay or go. And I was like, no, oh my God, why? I can't even believe I thought that. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. Because you don't, even if it's true, bringing that to people, it doesn't usually land well, especially since some people would have given up anything to be there. And so I get why she's annoyed, but I also really understand understand where Tara was coming from when she said that. And she's probably just talking with her friends, being like, oh, I really just don't want to be first juror. I don't want to, like, she's probably just complaining.
Oh, I'm sure that's what the actual case was. I don't think she was complaining enough to be like, oh, this is actually how I feel, and I'm furious, and I would hate to be that person. But nobody wants to hear it. I wouldn't want to be laying in bed wanting to hear that.
So BB says, I think you mean Tara. So Tara is a grown woman who knew the timeline before joining BB. True. I think she was just complaining. We know that Tara is a complainer. And she's probably just like, oh my God, that'd be so annoying. Like if I was the first juror, like, please.
If Tara was in final 2, it would not be what I was thinking about, her complaining in bed one night about that. I'd be like, she's a mom. Like,
so I see both sides, but I thought that it was a little bit kind of mean to that, how Victoria was kind of coming at her for that, because and being like, well, I'm missing my family too. And it's like, I know that it's a different thing with mothers and children. And so she had a weak moment that she probably shared. She shared. I know. She was definitely like, anything to stay in this game. She doesn't deserve to be here. Like, yeah. I mean, Tara did give Victoria some ammunition to go against her. She should have never said that around Victoria. Like, no. Victoria is not the person that you tell any secrets to. So, yeah, Ben, Tara, Jed, Kiefer, Freyden, they're all the head of household room after this, and they kind of just talking about like how Tara and Tina looked kind of sketch, and Rohan, and I was hoping that they would at least show a little bit of the back and forth, but they didn't really show how much it was waffling back and forth, and so you could tell that there's no shot for Victoria to be staying, because Victoria was dressed in like a really like super fun little sexy gold off the shoulder kind of 80s prom vibes. Or like 80s like Barbie doll outfit,
like 87. I wish she like had bigger hair. I like the black boots.
I would have wanted a different boot personally.
I would have done a sandal.
Yes, something a little bit, because like I thought that it had so much going on up here that you'd want like something a little bit not as distracting on the bottom. But I love the top part of that. I thought that she looked quite pretty. And then you see right beside her is Tara in like workout gear. So you're like, okay, she knew that she's going home. Wouldn't it have been savage though if they just sent Tara home that she's like ready to compete?
Would have been I would have loved that moment solely because of what she was wearing. Forcing people to do eviction outfits that they don't want to be in is incredible.
Yeah,
amazing.
It would have been.
Like, I don't want my hair pulled back for this.
It's kind of would be a little bit petty, but you would be like, yummy.
You're out of here.
Oh man! So Victoria has her final plea to the house guests, and she kind of mentions that this is the dirtiest back door in BB Canada history. I guess it is. It's pretty dirty.
Well, that was pretty dirty, but so was
Latoya.
Latoya was a dirty backdoor, and no, wasn't Latoya up? Oh no, she was a replacement.
Yeah, she's a replacement. Did she play in the veto? I don't know. She did play in the veto though.
She did play in the veto. Okay. What's her face from season 5? Who I love? Netta. Loved Netta season 2.
I still liked her season 5. I think that she got a case of bad edit and Ika Wong. Yeah, of course. Like, she should have won that season. Hundo. So yes, it did happen. Spicy V has left the building and she is walking out the door. Now I died when they're like twerk. Twerk. And she twerked on the stairs. I was like, yes, Victoria, you still got it, even in your dress. She did have a pretty good attitude about leaving. I know that she probably was like, it really sucked for her. And I think she knew that she kind of messed up quite a bit. And she tried really hard. And Arissa recognized that. Arissa was like, pretty disappointed that she was sitting out there, but she was kind of like, did you make some mistakes? And Victoria was pretty much like, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. And she did. I think she really did make a lot of mistakes. I think how she went was so one way with LaToya, like being like, I swear she's not going home. Like I think she lost a lot of her credibility with that head of household reign, that nobody could fully trust her. And it was just easy for people to be like, she can't stay. She's too unpredictable.
Yeah, I don't know if she would have been in as much trouble if, I don't know. Like, I don't think Taratina would have gone after Vic. I think Beth winning was Vic's worst case scenario last week.
That's true. I think that I don't think anybody else would have put her up, to be quite honest. So BB says, why haven't we seen some Hinky votes? Which is a good question. I don't know if they're big enough fans to be playing like Hinky votes. Like Victoria would be a Hinky vote type, but she's voted first round, and she ended up kind of being the Hinky vote because she was the only one that voted out Josh. Week 2, who was head of house? It was Austin. Did she vote?
She voted with the majority.
And then week 3, she was head of household. Week 4, she was the ghost HOH, no? Or no, Kiefer. No, I can't remember right now.
Yeah, week 4 was Kiefer.
Week 5 was her again.
Week 6 was Beth.
So I don't know. She hasn't
3 times.
Has she been nominated yet? No.
No, this is her first nom.
Backdoor. I mean, she did go out in epic fashion, and I think that's probably why she was saying like the dirtiest backdoor in BBCan history. I think is that she wants to have some of these labels around her, you know, like she was the first when this happened. So calling it the dirtiest backdoor ever, maybe that's going to catch on in the vernacular. Exactly. And so I think that she was making a name for herself a little bit in her exit as well.
She wants All-Stars. She wants All-Stars.
She'd come back for All-Stars. There's no doubt. Her and Austin, I would say right now, would 100% be on that list for All-Stars.
Austin too. Austin's voice, I've been listening to it. I listened to it today on Twitter. I'm like, you sing to me, please. She's singing some Dua Lipa. I'm like, please, more.
Go to 180. Da, 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 da. Have you done the TikTok to that? That was like at the beginning of quarantine.
You know I don't do TikTok.
Well, maybe you need to start.
I should.
I'm older than you by a lot.
A lot.
Quite a bit. I would be in the pre-90s, and you would you be? No, you would be pre-90s too. Okay, fine. But still, but like I could even say pre-80s almost. Just saying. Like I'm the same age as Tina. I think I'm older than Tina's a year older than me, or half a year older than me.
Isn't that crazy? It's like, but like there are people that are 50 that I'm like, you look 25. What the hell?
Are you saying that I look 50, or are you saying that I look 25?
You look 24 in a day. Or you could literally be any age though.
No age?
Yeah, you're ageless.
Ageless. Oh, what exactly that Arissa said was, is this karma? And Vic said, yeah.
Yes.
And I think it was kind of karma. She did some people dirty, and it came right around. And I didn't want her to go, but this is how she deserved to go out in this fashion. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't playing a game where people were going to reciprocate in a kind fashion with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she can only go out this way. Can you imagine her going, like, being nominated at the beginning of the week and then playing in the V? Like, it just no, she needs to be backdoored. She definitely is a double eviction or backdoored type of player.
I think she would have been in trouble with the double eviction in general. I don't know if Kiefer would have taken the shot at her, but I really, like I said it last week, and I'll say it again, Beth winning head of household was never good for Victoria's game. And I worried for her the most with Beth winning.
Yeah, me too.
Beth, I think I actually respect Beth a lot more than I thought I was going to. The first episode, I was like, gamer, amazing. And then I kind of faded, and I was like, Beth is just like, she's here for the Bachelorette. Okay, cool. And then something switched for me where I'm like, okay, Beth's playing again. Beth's playing harder than I think. She kind of has a good grasp of what's going on. I can
Kind of.
it.
I'm on the side of the trio. Like I'm not that down with Tina and Tara really anymore. I'm into Brayden. So I like Brayden. I like Kiefer. I like Jed, Ty, and Beth. I'm sorry, I do.
Kiefer, I can't do
I do. Hello. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
How are you doing?
Hey.
All right, you might have to read this because there's a lot reading here.
Oh, no.
Okay. Why did Vic say to Rissa that BB is unscripted and unprovoked by production to make up for her production bananas comment?
Yikes.
Yeah, probably. You should be like, I mean, they don't meddle at all. I think that she definitely
productions.
And I think she wants production to like her as well.
Yeah.
That's really important. We know working in the entertainment industry, like if you're not someone that people want to work with, you don't get hired. That's just what it is. And so, if people want to call in, Victoria for a BBCan versus US season or whatever, like she wants to look like she's a good person to work with as well. So I think that is partial her reason too. And yes, the bananas comment, she's probably like, shoot, I need to fix that up. I don't want them to be mad.
Nope.
Okay. How are we? We're good. We're talking about the episode. What do you think about the episode, Matt? What you think? Okay, so Victoria's gone, unanimous vote. Sorry, Victoria. I wanted you to play better, but you just didn't have it in you. And boring, and better is boring. So you weren't boring. So the head of household competition is before or after. I was kind of nervous. I know you said your palms weren't sweating, but I was just kind of nervous because I didn't want Tara to win it.
I wanted
Brayden to win it.
Except for Kiefer. Literally everyone else, I was like, I'm fine with this. And then he kept getting points, and I'm like, stop getting points. This is worst case scenario. I mean, it would have been more exciting if any other person won than Kiefer.
So I didn't even realize that Kiefer was in the lead. I thought it was between Ty and Rohan. And then Ty got it wrong. I'm like, oh my God, is Rohan going to win this? And then I heard that Kiefer was in it. I'm like, oh, I mean, I'm fine with that because I don't want Jen and Ty to go up. But it wasn't the best scenario for something exciting to happen because that Kiefer has had it out for Rohan. Yeah. If you've been watching the feeds this week, you'd see that Brayden kind of was outed a bit by Victoria, and so he's not really in solid with the trio anymore. So Kiefer was able to kind of nestle his way back in there because Brayden was kind of taking that role a little bit. And Kiefer, I think we saw in the episode, was getting a little bit irritated by the fact that why are we talking game strategy and all that stuff in front of Brayden? He's not with us. And so now I just knew 100% that Brayden and Rohan were going up and that pretty much Rohan was going home. If Rohan won the veto, I think that he would have put up Tara. What do you think? Who do you think he would have put up if Rohan had won the veto?
Oh, I think he would have. How many votes would there be? Jed, Tina, Tara. I think he would have put up Tara. He would have put up Tara. And I think Ro would have still went. Or Bray. I think Bray would have went over Tara.
Bray would have went over Tara. Yes, I agree. Matt says, after tonight's episode, I am, as they say in the UK, gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. Gobsmacked.
Bloody hell.
Gutted. Oh, you're so right there, Matt. But Matt, actually, if you're watching, though, The Circle UK, that is a season to be watching these Brits, eh? Yeah, you should, Circle UK is so good. I haven't watched today's, I forgot. Yes! Or did I? Oh, I might have. Wait, did I?
I'm watching it after this. I can't wait.
Okay, I might have watched already. I can't remember. He would for sure have put up Tara, yeah. So he agrees with us here. It's like Canada got kicked in the bollocks. Yes, Canada got kicked in the bollocks. Those are bloody good UK accents. Well, actually, my father's born in London. So I have lots of cousins that are from London. They're from South London. And so when I was younger, I used to always go for holiday in the summer and I'd hang out with my family. So I can kind of put it on. It's a lot easier when I'm around people that are from London that I could like really emulate the accent. And so I usually can be able to do a pretty decent British accent.
And I'm just a geezer gal.
You geezer gal.
Just a geezer gal.
I mean, that wouldn't be something that anybody in my family said. So I don't know if I can say that believably. I'm a geezer girl. I'm just a geezer girl.
Geezer.
Would you like to have a go? I'm a geezer girl, just drinking beer.
Drinking and a pint.
A pint? I don't have that kind of accent. Oh, yeah. Oi, oi, oi.
That was very taste.
I know, I love taste so much. Speaking of taste, this is a complete aside conversation right now, but taste, I'm so obsessed with him and all this bibbity bop, boop, bop, like all of his little phrases that I kind of want to write him in as a flight attendant on my TV show. Like taste as like himself and like
do it.
Why are you saying shh?
Because he'll sue you. Oh, you want him to be on it?
I want it to be him.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I thought you were just stealing him.
No, and like
recasting.
And like no. I want him to be a flight attendant in my TV show. And like what was super great about it is the fact that it could be how we have like anybody can wear any of the uniforms. There's no gender like male female uniform, and so it would be kind of amazing if sometimes he would be in drag a little bit as a flight attendant. So as soon as I saw him, I'm like, he has to be on my show.
Done.
Anyways, that's a little bit of an aside there. I'm obsessed with the UK Circle. Yes.
Anyone watching needs to start watching The Circle UK Series 3.
You like the accent, eh? And you must know how to chicken shop, girl. Wait, what? Chicken shop? Isn't that Australian? I can't do Aussie.
Chicken chop, girl.
Chicken chop. Chicken chop. Chicken chop.
I can do an Aussie, but I can't do Aussie.
Aussie's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Crocky.
That
was good.
I could do a little bit, but like because I'm so anti the Australian accent that like I don't even want to be able to do it well.
Yo, back.
What TV show? Oh, I'm writing one right now from my experience as a flight attendant. Oh, in the UK, I don't know about Chicken Shop. I haven't been there, haven't been to London in quite a long time.
Oh.
I definitely was planning on going back last summer, but what happened there with 2020, but I don't know Chicken Shop. Chicken Shop girl. Chicken Shop girl. I'll have to look it up, BB. She has a YouTube channel in the UK. Oh, okay. I will 100%. When I was going there was no internet. You know what I mean? Like this is like in the Stone Ages. No YouTube.
No internet.
Internet. It was like when I used to go would be when I was like in like high school and stuff like that, which would have been before internet was a real thing, when it was still like dial up.
I was there in 2018.
Oh, even
like a lifetime ago.
2018 was pretty soon, actually. Yep. Actually, cast me as a needy passenger with a drinking problem. Perfect. Well, you'd have to be union. I mean, not to be elitist, but it would, no matter what, it would be a union production. So you would have to be union to work on it, unless it was just as a background, and then they could have some people that are non-union. Just saying. So get into the union, and then maybe we can work something out. All right, back to what we're really talking about here. Like tangent. So head of household is before and after, and yes. Kiefer ends up winning this. No surprise to either of us. He's putting up Brayden and Rohan. Veto competition's coming around, and basically it was a cool veto competition. What was it called?
Night Sword.
Stone Cold Veto. That's good. I like that one. So there's a sword that's stuck in the end, and they had to maneuver the sword through a maze to the other end and remove the sword. Now, I just need to know how is this along the theme of the season? Like, because didn't it start as like the superheroes that like from season 8 that got like vined over, and they're reemerging and opening the comic book for these new superheroes to emerge, but then like ball pits
cut that
and
fast. It's just been a hodgepodge. It's like a mood board. Like, what mood are we in this week? This one. This is what
like,
we're doing.
We have one where they're like balancing apples, and then this one last week was the flipping burgers on the. Do they do that yet? Yeah,
grill.
Like the burgers on the grill for the grill, and then like pictures. It's like, what's happening? Where did the theme go? Where did the theme? Okay, who would you want in a Big Brother Canada All-Star season?
Oh,
me.
Yeah,
me.
They
can't do it until.
Who would you pick? 4 people.
Honestly, like, I think that if Victoria has it in her to edit her game and like take a look back and learn a little bit from what she did wrong, I think that she would be very interesting to see her play again, especially with having probably a huge target on her back. Yep. So it would be interesting to see if she was going to be able to do well with people knowing her game, you know? So she would be very interesting to watch. I don't think that she would be able to do that well, but I think that her being in the house would be very interesting for other players.
Yeah.
I would still want to give Netta a frigging chance. I think that she messed up season 5. I think it would have been better if it was a full all-star season for her. I never really like split, like, you know, fans and repeats. Like, it just usually doesn't work that well. Right? So I wish that it was like all or nothing there. Because I still feel as though she has strategy and like the winning game, potentially.
I'd love to see Karen back. I loved Karen.
Sure, I liked Karen. I don't know if she's a winner.
She's not game-worthy, but I mean, entertainment-wise, I loved what she offered.
Dead. Jonathan, don't troll me. Don't you dare troll me. Don't you dare troll me. Oh, so speaking of that season, though, I would like to see Erica back. I want to see how she would have done if she didn't like get involved in that. Okay, so Matt is saying here that he would like
Emmett, yes.
Emmett, okay, but he already did The Amazing Race. I kind of already seen him again. I'm not really that interested in seeing him some more. Ew. I could see Gary again. I do not want to see Peter at all.
Get out of here.
I could see Ika again, but like I watch Ika every day on her channel, so like I get my Ika fix, so I don't know if I need to see her on Big Brother again. But if she was there, I wouldn't be upset. I could take Cassandra. I could take Netta for sure. Hopefully if Nikki got better and she was able to, you know, feel good about herself. I love Nikki Graham, and so I would love to see her play again, but I don't know if it's the right environment for her. And even Tim, I really enjoyed. I liked him a lot.
Tim too.
Tim too. Anybody else that we're missing? Nobody who. Do you want to see?
For sure.
Do you want to see Poutine Poppy again?
Ew! Stop it. No one. I mean, 7, not a soul.
Not a soul. Wow, that was a season that like I was like so upset that basically that woman took my spot. You know, she's like my same prototype. Karen, okay, fine. Who's Smith? Oh, Samantha? Nah. Adam? Nah.
No. Get out of here. No.
So both of them, I believe, mother's name is Sharon Marie, and my mom's name is Sharon Marie.
Oh, my mom's name is Sharon Marie.
You're lying.
Sorry.
I was thinking like, oh, they're East Coast, see?
East Coast
like,
Sharon.
All those East Coast Sharon Maries. Anthony, that's who I want. Okay. I mean, a lot of people really loved like him. He's very confident. He comes up with like a lot of these like sayings and slangs that people can get behind. And so I think that that's what people like about him. They also like that he wasn't a fan and that he learned how to play the game in the game. And so if he had known how to play the game a little bit better, he would have realized that he needed to take care of the jury. And so I think that him coming back, it would be interesting to see if he could do it a second time, because then I would be able to say, like, yes, you are a good player. But right now, he could have just lucked into the pretty boys and was able to make good decisions with having power. I didn't see him with him on the ropes, like, don't know what to do, having to make decisions, save himself. Like, I didn't see him do any fancy footwork game moves. So yeah, he was a good game player, sure, but his side always won everything. So it's like, I don't know, like, are you that good? So let's see you maybe again to see if you're able to replicate the season. Okay, what else is here? The legends, Nick and Tim. Yes, Nikki and Tim. Yes, I know they love them. Oh, they were definitely a great at it. Like, I don't usually want people from out of Canada to win any of these type of seasons, but I like them. Remember, All Stars isn't like ability; it's about what they accomplish in their season. That's true. Ooh. That's true. I think he's making a little bit of a dig about the challenge All Stars. No, the challenge. Oh. So it's so good, but it's because I think it's good because it's all people from 20 years ago. And so it's the people that like start off with the challenge. Like, it's not all these explosions and these ninja warriors coming to play this game. It's like the real people who are now moms, like married, like a little more out of shape, put on some pounds, that are playing the challenge. And so some of them I'm like, why are you an all-star? But as Matt's saying here, it's like, well, they made an impact in their season, which is true. All these people made some serious impact. Definitely. I would love to see Tala, to be honest. Really, she is hilarious. I would see Tala. She is hilarious. I like Tala. I like Topaz. I don't want to see Peter. I was so angry. I remember that was one of the times I was like the most angry when Peter didn't save friggin'. Oh, he didn't save her, Topaz. Oh, that was so upsetting. Shocker. So this is Ro's 5th time on the block. Oh my God. And he just didn't have the sauce. He went the wrong way in the maze, and he allowed for Ty to get his first win in Big Brother Canada 9. He wins the power of veto. Now, he has a couple mini conversations. Ro, decent pitch, kind of being like, hey, like, you need me to stay here. I'm going to be a bigger target. I'm always going to be in front of you. You're always going to be a target. I'm always going to be a target in front of you. People are going to come for me before they come for you. And that's pretty true. And he's saying anything that he can to stay. You can't really promise anything to him. It's like, at this point, it's like, we're coming for each other, but it's like whether or not you want to take the risk that, like, you can still get me first. And so he didn't really try that hard, but he did make a small little effort. And then he talks to Brayden, and Brayden and him give it like a nice embrace. It was quite a deep embrace, I would say.
Yes.
And I think Brayden has been doing a pretty decent job with his relationship with Ty. I think that it's actually an important relationship for him to have in the game. I don't know if it would be actually good for him to put up Ty because Ty is not coming for Brayden, and Ty probably wants to sit beside Brayden. So, I mean, or like Final Four-ish, 4 or 5. So, anyways, I think that it was pretty obvious that Ty was not going to use the power veto, and that it was still going to be Rohan and Brayden on the block. They go to vote. This is a double eviction.
Woo.
They go in, they vote. I mean, they said their speeches. Nothing, right? They said speeches, did they?
I don't. Nothing that was exciting enough for me to be like, wow, that was a great speech.
Yeah, I didn't write anything about speeches. I wrote down deep embrace. I'm like, Ty chose not to use the power veto. Rohan is done, I wrote. And Rohan did say that he'll be voting for the best person to win the game, which I like. Best player, exactly. He didn't seem bitter when he was going out, like, at all. And so I was surprised that Tarantina didn't throw him a bone. And, you know, maybe give him a hinky vote. I don't know. What did you think? I was surprised.
I don't think they should have. If they wanted any sort of something with Bray, just let it go unanimous. At this point, fuck it. I think the sand is too... The line is too drawn in the sand that it's like, here we go. We have to look like it's 4 versus 3 at this point. Cool. Why vote out
So Matt's saying that the double basically solidified Jed, Ty, and Beth getting to the end. LOL. Not
We'll
necessarily.
see.
There's still a lot of outs, but the majority of them will most likely get there. Most likely. Yeah. So, yes, another unanimous vote, and the roast show is no mo. He gone to speak to Miss Arissa. And Arissa, I think, was rooting for him as well. She kind of seemed disappointed that he was coming out. And I think we all were. I wasn't a big fan of Ro a couple weeks ago, but I appreciate the fight. I appreciate anybody that wins those vetoes to keep themselves in the game. Like, I like that. And so, and his pitch strategies got better. So I don't know if it's just because he got used to pitching because he's had to do it so many times, or people were more receptive to him or whatnot. Like, it seemed like it wasn't landing on deaf ears anymore, and that people were actually like working with him. And so I didn't want to see him go because I like seeing people fighting to stay, to be there. And I'd rather him be there than Tara and Tina at this point, because they're really not doing anything for me at all.
It makes me so sad. Tina, give me something.
Give me something. I
need it from
you. I mean, I loved her partner wearing that Big Brother shirt, sweatshirt last episode. Big Brother.
I like Tina. I just want her to play the game a little harder. I get what she's doing, but it's like, that's not a winning game to me. But also, like, people should look around and be like, wow, I could really beat Tarantino at the end. I really think playing with Tarantino is not a bad idea.
I don't want to see that happen. So no, I don't want it.
But that's the smart thing to do. Like, I'd be like, okay, girls, let's do that. Let's get to the end together.
No,
I'll beat both of you at the end. Perfect, great.
I mean, that's what Beth was hoping to do before she made this move. She kind of, or at the beginning of the week, she wanted to go to the end with Brayden and Tara. Tina was her final three, because she felt that she could beat both of them. But now that she's like has so much pep in her step from this head of household reign, that she thinks she could beat anybody, which she probably kind of could right now.
Anybody. I think she's playing. I think Beth's playing a way better game than people have given her credit for, and that I've given her credit for, to be honest.
It's true. We'll see how the rest of it plays out. See if she gets in the hot seat again and see what happens. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. One thing, though, that really stuck out to me with Ro's interview with Arissa was he talked about the fact that she was in a bad position from the start. And I agree, that bad position was those damn teams, and him being on the losing team 2 weeks in a row, where you had to always be fighting. He had to be fighting to some certain extent. And so he wasn't able to just like fade to the background. Like, he had to win competitions. Like, it just made him look like a target the whole time because of those damn teams. And so I don't know, maybe they'll reconsider it next time, because I think it did ruin what could have been a really even more epic season if it just got to play out normally and naturally without having people have already conditioned biases and like having to only choose one side, and people not even having to be in the hot seat for 2.5 weeks. Like, it's just like they didn't have to play for 2 weeks.
Thinking back, it's like, even if there was a partner twist, that would have been kind of fun for a couple of weeks, where it's like you and your partner lose, or you and your partner win together. That could have been fun. But teams for 2 weeks only, jokes.
It's not good. Not good. Like, half a week, a day. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just too long for people to get in the rules of like, we are impenetrable, and you guys are all up for nomination or elimination. And so it just was a bad start for the defender team. And so you can see most of the defenders are gone, right? Well, I guess not most, but Julie was a defender, correct? Yeah, she had to have been. Josh was, of course. Natoya was, and Rohan was. Of course, like, the only two people that have gone out that were Destiny was Austin and Victoria at this point.
And Kyle?
And Kyle. Completely forgot about Kyle. Wow. Okay, so
Yes.
Matt thinks that Beth built her resume by getting Vic out. Yes, I do think she built her resume. I think she might have lost some credibility by waffling back and forth a bit this week. A lot. But I think that she would still be able to articulate that that was the move of the season so far. I think it's a bigger move than even LaToya. So who would target Beth? Tara.
I don't think
Not immediately, but no, well, I think that if people are targeting the boys, so if it's Brayden, I think he's still probably targeting the boys. It is better for him. Tina and Tara targeting the boys. I think that maybe Beth doesn't go up right away, but I think she's always the replacement nominee if any of the boys win the veto. She might not go home, but she will be the replacement. So, and maybe if Brayden wins that, it would be Kiefer. Sorry?
I mean, she could make a move by winning a veto and taking one of the boys off and being like,
that'd be
hey,
delicious.
This is me protecting you guys now, and this is me being the kingpin in this trio. So I do think there's still room for her to do well, but she would most likely, be the replacement with the boys.
Oh my God, Matt. Now this is a good idea. I don't know if you heard JoJo's terrible idea at the beginning of this episode, but Big Brother rivals would be hilarious. Two former enemies playing together as a pair. I would love that. Wouldn't that be delicious? Who would be okay?
I want it.
Who would be a good rival? Like Neda Ika? Yep. Let's have it.
Gorgeous.
Give it to me.
Karen and Maddie.
Wouldn't Karen and Maddie, but Karen and Kevin Martin would have been more. She's still. I don't know if she's still mad at him, but
I think they're friends now.
Who else hates each other? Anybody with what's the redhead's name from season 5? A lot of people weren't fans of her. Jackie.
She was fine though. Like she was just a waste of. She was just a human being in there.
Mm-hmm. Who else did people have big? Who?
I'm trying to think of who hated each other.
Me too. Yes, Jackie. Oh, Ika and Jackie. I'm like, okay, yes, okay, and Jackie, Ika, yeah, Ika and Jackie. I think Ika and Neda would be a more interesting duo, though. Who hated Cassandra? Oh my God, I don't want to see Liza though. Liza though is in fights with everybody, isn't she?
Liza's just crawling in under every rock, being like, "Hey, I'm here. Don't forget me."
But
and Liza,
I don't need to see her. No, nah, pass. Nah. Okay, so what else happened on this episode? Anything good? Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for Ro. He's part of the jury, though. Go ahead.
Did you hear the leak? Arissa said, "God, that's so embarrassing." When
yes.
Beth was walking into the. What was that over about? I don't know. Maybe it was.
I didn't understand. Maybe it was her. Maybe she was talking about herself. Like maybe she was dragging toilet paper. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I did hear about the leak. I didn't hear the leak myself. So where was Beth going though? I'm listening to you.
Oh, I said I went back and was like, what did she say? And she said something about being embarrassing. I was like, I hope she's talking about Beth. That's funny.
But could you what scenes were being shown at that particular time?
Oh, it was when Beth was walking through the hallway, going into the dining room to vote for Rohan to leave.
Oh, did they do? Oh, maybe the embarrassing was it the kiss when she kissed Jed when they were going through? Could that have been what's so embarrassing?
No, it was before it. It was when she was going in to vote.
No, I know, but there. Okay, I didn't see it then.
Kiss yet.
Well, because they kissed when she was going to vote, and he was leaving.
Oh, they kissed beforehand too? No, it was the opposite. She was leaving, and he was coming in when they kissed.
Oh. All right, Liza and someone, LOL. Yeah, I don't know who it would have been. Okay, so hold on. Okay, who has the best chance at taking Beth to the final 2, Jed or Ty? Jed 100% would have a better chance at taking Beth to the final 2. Ty, I don't think. Well, I don't know. I think Ty might want to take Brayden at this point. I'm not sure. What do you think?
I think Ty still wants the final three to be him and Beth and Jed. I don't think he's going to cut either any of them unless there's a veto win or HOH win that's them. So I would say Jed and Beth have the best chance of making the final two.
Well, okay, and I think also if Tara is not there, I wouldn't be surprised if Tina took Beth to the final two. If she's
Looking
there.
around, yeah. Yeah, she probably thinks that she would have a better shot at winning against Beth. I think Beth has a pretty good shot, though.
She thinks that she's been talking about her being the mastermind and she's going to be winning this game and she can picture herself in the final two chairs. I wonder if that's a true prophecy. Yes, I get it. Anybody with Liza. Liza's
anyone.
Funny. Hold on. I heard it. She probably tripped or something. Haha. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, she probably was like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Like, and her mic pack was still on. Like, I just don't know if it correlated to something that was actually happening in the house or if it was something that was happening on her own person and it being an audio leak, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that it was intentional for her talking about. Oh my God, so embarrassing. And I think that you need to do a tarot reading for the finale night fortune. Okay. How should I do this? Should I do it like now with the players and see who I think has the best shot at winning? Or do you think when I get to the final four? What do you think, Maddie? What do you think? How should I do it? Let me know and I will.
Also, does anyone know who head of household is yet?
Yes, good question.
Anyone?
Oh, and this is my question to Rohan and to you at this point. So do you think that now with what the outcome has been, that it would have been a better idea for him to have used that power of veto on his girl, Austin?
Yes.
I do too.
1,000%, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have wanted Brayden to go, but sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't want Brayden to go either, but I think forcing them to put someone else up on the block was a smarter idea in general.
Just give it a shot.
Taking someone down. Yes, that's all he needed was one shot.
Right? Because
like could have had people who had his back at that.
Well, like he would have gone to work, you know what I mean? Like he didn't want to work that hard against his friend, obviously. If Austin came down, I believe Tara would have gone up. You know, I think who would have gone up? It was Victoria, it was the ghost.
Maybe
maybe Beth.
Victoria could have put Beth up at this point. I think a real bad move not to take
that.
I think
especially
someone down. Yeah. If you
especially because they're working. Yes, exactly. They were working together, and you have two people that you're working together on the block. Take the damn risk. I know that they were worried that it was going to be Tara or Tina that were going up, and Beth and Austin and Brayden were saying like, oh, like maybe that they'll put up Tara instead. And then that's when Victoria went over and been like, oh my God, they want you to be the replacement. And so Tina and Tara were getting a little bit nervous about potentially being the backdoor replacement. And so they put the fear in Rohan. But I think that they should have taken the risk of saving someone for sure, because they didn't know at that point who the ghost head of household was. They didn't know if Beth would be the person, or Tina or Tara. It could have been anybody. And you wouldn't have been in a worse position than you are now. Like if you have two allies on the block, then you still have two allies on the block, but at least you tried to change the fate of your game and Austin's. So yeah, I think that was the biggest mistake for sure. Matt wants me to do it at Final Four. Okay, at Final Four, I will do a predictive reading for the Final Four house guest. Done. No idea who head of household is. Natalie, BB, do you guys know who head of household is? Pre-jury, keep your threats.
Go to Twitter.
I know. Well, or go to the feeds. Let the threats target each other. Absolutely, the threats always need to be targeting each other. She needed to keep Keep that threat in there. Keep Austin in that game. Like, put somebody else up. Make this Ghost HOH get some blood on their hands, you know? Like, if it's Ty, like, why you need to protect Ty? Anyways, I thought it was bad. You should have definitely taken it. If you win, take out a threat after jury starts to build a resume. LOL, if you lose. Bigger targets ahead of you. Yeah, exactly. Wait, not yet? Okay. BB says not yet. So it hasn't happened yet, guys. But this was a fun recap. I enjoyed hanging out with you, obviously, JoJo, and you, Matt, and Natalie, and BB. And I know you're going to probably watch soon, Dolores. So nice to see you, Dolores. And Jonathan, thanks for trolling. I always love you, Jonathan. Are you working on anything right now, JoJo, that you want to share with the people that they can even follow you? Or are you playing any games coming up or anything?
No, I've retired for now.
Me too.
Any happening? Not until June. No.
Okay, well, in June, we'll check back in with you and find out what's up. What's up? You are welcome, BB, and make sure you guys tell all your friends to subscribe to Reality Pop, because we are going to be your next new hub in all things reality television. And I guess joining me on the block on Monday, I think it's going to be Michelle Nash, who should be joining me on the block. So we will know then who the new head of household is. And lastly, before we sign off, JoJo, who is your ideal person to be head of household? Okay, This is supposed to be quick. I want Brayden. I want to see what Brayden has to do. I want to see what he does. If he's going to still go for the boys like he said that he's going to, or if he'll chicken out. I want to see what Brayden will do. Wouldn't mind seeing a Ty head of household, even though it's probably going to be pretty basic, but I want to see what he'll do. If he'll actually, like, you know, do something a little bit different, because he kind of could get in a sticky position if Tina and Tara, one of them comes down. Would he put up Brayden? Would he put up Kiefer? What would he do? So I would like to see how that goes down. And that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Love y'all. See ya.